I did a video on meditation, a couple things to follow up upon. I always end a video, I watch it, and then I say, oh, I forgot to say everything I wanted to say. There are more things that come to me after. So, part two, I guess, of sharing that. There are some verses that memorizing verses is a great way as well to get into that meditative state. I use memorized verses, and I used to be really good at it, very focused on memorizing a lot of verses. And my reason for it was to be able to have a verse in the moment for a situation that was happening so I could quickly pull my own knowledge and self out of trying to fix it and rely upon God's word and guidance. So super helpful and powerful that for that you just have God's word and wisdom like in the moment in your mind. And if you have these verses memorized, they will help you to, if you're triggered, you have the amygdala hijack. If you haven't heard of that, that's like that fight, flight, freeze. What do you do? How do I handle this challenging situation in front of me? God's word is ingrained in your head and your heart in that way if you have verses memorized. So definitely do it for that reason. But also with meditation, I find that, yes, you can seek out a verse and all of that, but find those verses that speak to your heart that you may always need and want, that really just resonate with you. What resonates with me might not resonate with you. So be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. That's just something I think I did a TikTok on that one. If you want to check out Letter from Christ on TikTok, there is a whole piece on that particular verse and what that's done for me. And it's always been in my head, and now I'm actually living that verse, and it's been really, really nice and transformative. But there could be another verse that you just read that like, this is my favorite verse. Proverbs 3:5-6 is often that for someone. If you have a verse that is your favorite or love, share it below, so maybe we have some more verses to think on what we can use this for. But the point is, so Colossians 3:2 was one of the verses that I was actually Googling. What verses make you feel like this, or verses for hope, or verses for love, or verses for whatever? I was Googling them many years ago. And in my iPhone, on my notes, I would just then take the verse off of the app and put it on there. And while I was walking to work or driving or whatever it is in my active, it's hard for me to set aside time except to read the Bible in the morning. So I was trying to, but there's all these things like we should do and could do that are good for us. So I tried to incorporate the memorization of verses into other aspects of my life and my regular workflow, so I actually had time for it. And one of them was set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. And you see, I just looked, and I shouldn't have looked because I have this memorized, and I don't know why my low confidence made me want to look. Is a lot of pressure because just to be sharing this with you. Set your minds on things above, comma, not on earthly things. I'm all about the punctuation too, getting it 100% perfectly right. And I had that one memorized. I think I Googled that because I was just focused on the wrong things. I instinctively knew I was focused on the wrong things. And as I would be walking to work, I lived in San Francisco at the time, and it was about a 10 to 15 minute to walk every single morning, early in the morning. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. And sometimes I would say it over and over and over and over and over again. I didn't have to have anything with me because I memorized it. Noticeably, it's a very short verse because in the beginning I was like, that's a lot harder, easier to like memorize. I then evolved into, a paragraph of a verse. I don't have chapters memorized at all, and now I'm gonna have to think what type of verse to meditate on next. But walking through and saying, set your minds on things above, not on earthly things, is by the time I got to work, that stuck with me through the day. So maybe you think of either a verse of day might be aggressive, a lot of work looking it up. For me, it would be, but a week a month? What season in your life are you in? I think, things happen for longer periods of time. What is God trying to show you right now to grow into? And that could be a thing. So even if you don't know the verse, honestly, Googling the verse, going into the YouVersion Bible app to search for words that you're interested in may inspire you. Obviously, talking to, fellow Christians, asking them, however you can get inspired to find a way of God's word and wisdom to meditate on. That's what I would encourage you to do. And again, it's around that positive mindset. What we think affects how we feel and how we behave and act. It just does. It is like the domino effect. So whatever you're putting in here, whatever you're focused on is the output it's going to be. It's like a computer almost. You can totally rely upon that. So if you're surrounding yourself with, listen, I'm all about Netflix. I dive into every type of thing, but I got to put it in context, and then I got to get out of it. There are some things that walk out, you feel angry and you feel pumped and you feel motivated and you feel words matter, thoughts matter, all of that matters. So what you put in is what you will get out. If you put in other stuff, it's fine, right? You can watch a scary movie, but put it in context that okay, I know this will be in my head, so how can I get myself out of that so I'm not staying in that zone of anger or fear or whatever it is. So anyway, that's what I'll leave you with today. Let me know what verse you're picking to meditate on, and I think I'll take this few minutes after this video to think about what verse I'm going to meditate on. As always, I wish you a very blessed and abundant day. Take care, everyone.